Will you still want them after what they did? You were their angel. Also, you're the one who got away. But they know you deserved better. You know who it is if it's for you. They did something they know they don't deserve your forgiveness for. You were my rock. I hide my true feelings. They feel like they couldn't open up to you. That's what they're saying. Wow, they didn't want to disappoint you. This was who they were all along. This is just for your intuition. You don't have to do anything. Don't blame yourself. They tried to make it seem like it was your fault that they hurt you, cheated, lied, whatever it was, because it can resonate in different ways, but they felt like you were too good for them, that you were going to leave them anyway, so they felt like they had to sabotage from the very beginning. Wow. That's why they always hide their true feelings. They feel like they can't tell people how they really feel about anything. But especially you. You are somebody different for them. They really tried. And now they wish they hadn't. And it's not because they don't care. It's because they knew they weren't capable of following through. They feel like they just don't know how to handle their emotions. So they chose the safe choice. And they're not even happy. They're not happy. They know that they could have had a better life with you, but they just feel like they couldn't have handled it. Really low self-esteem. Pretending like they're happy. They're not happy. But they've settled for the life they chose. You know what, though? Hold on. Let me read these cards. I'm going to get back to that. What you seek is seeking you. You were an important lesson for me. I will never admit how much you hurt me. Look. When someone tells you they're not good enough for you, you need to believe them. When they start saying that stuff, that's a red flag because this person said that to you. If they didn't say it outright, they thought it. And they might have said it in different ways. When they say stuff like, I can't believe somebody like me is with you. Look, that's a person who really needs therapy or something. Look, they need to get away from you. Sometimes it's the therapy of life, okay? Like sometimes it's not a therapist, but they just have lessons to learn, like you were their lesson, one of their lessons. Do not blame yourself. What you seek is seeking you. I am really getting that if you've manifested a better relationship, it's coming. And some of you might think this was so good, you know, why'd this person pull away? It's like they wanted to treat you right until they just couldn't, until they just felt like they couldn't uphold certain standards, like they felt like you deserved better than them. I'm telling you, when someone tells you that, when they say, you're too good for me, you deserve better than me, believe them. I learned that the hard way. How my readings work, I get reminded of stuff from my past. And believe me, I wasn't thinking about this till this reading, but there was a guy I dated who I was really trying to help him, like trying to help him with side hustles. Like, here's what you can do online, because I know how to make money online various ways. And I was trying to tell him how to do that. And in hindsight, I shouldn't even have wasted my time, even on a text message with ideas for him. There's a lot of people I can say that about. Like, I'll spend so much time encouraging people, but sometimes people, it falls on deaf ears. You can't, just like that old saying, you can lead a horse to water, you can't make him drink. Well, I told him all this stuff he could do. Because he had a brand new car, but he had a job he was really, he didn't like, and he had to leave. He eventually did quit. Well, I had all these ideas for him, and they would have worked, like things he could have easily done. But he said to me, you're too good for me. You know what he did? He quit his job. And even though I had things for him to do, because I was making money doing a certain thing, because I actually had an Etsy shop at the time, and I said, here's some stuff. I gave him some free classes that he could take, and he could help me. He said he was going to help me. No, he sat around and played video games for several weeks after quitting his job, feeling sorry for himself. Now, I'm not saying he didn't deserve to take some time off. It was a stressful job, but he was babied. His mom had babied him, and he still lived with her. And he was absolutely right. Like, I'm not saying I was too good. Like, that's not what I mean. It's when people say that, they don't mean it literally usually, okay? Because I don't believe in somebody being better than someone. But do you see what I mean about how here I was working my butt off every day? I mean, it really upset me. And that's why I just cut off contact with him. I said, you know, I work my butt off every day. I don't have time to sit around and feel sorry for myself and grieve or whatever. I wish I did, but I didn't have that time. I was working every single day. Still am. One day, like 2 weeks had gone by, and I said, well, did you look into those graphic design classes? Oh, I forgot about that. He was busy playing Minecraft. And I'm like, this is over. You know, and that's what he meant by you're too good for me. What he meant was you're too motivated, you're too driven, you're willing to put in more work than I am. You know, I mean, and you can always say this person was depressed, but we all have depression. A lot of us have depression, you know. a lot of us don't have time to sit around and be depressed because I didn't have anybody paying my bills at the time. So I had to pick myself up and work every day. Still do. You got to have goals, you know, and I think this person thought that I was going to take care of him or something because his mom had babied him. No, he learned the hard way that that was not to be. But anyway, that's what I got reminded of for this, is this person is not willing to put in the work. Like if let's say you had lived together, or maybe you did live together, but let's say you tried to really have a life together. This person is going to frustrate you after a certain time because they're going to do exactly like that guy I just talked about. A picture's worth 1,000 words. That's why I give you these word pictures. Imagine that. You're working your butt off every day thinking someone's going to help you and they're just sitting around playing video games and feeling sorry for themselves. That's this person. They want someone who will deal with that. They didn't want someone who is going to hold them accountable. That's what we're talking about here when I say better than you. It's not really better than, it's just not as lazy as, you know what I mean? Like you're a harder worker. You are willing to think more than I am, that type of thing, because you do deserve better. And I'm sending you the energy right now. Like if that's what you want, is a good relationship, someone who works as hard as you do, who will put in the work that you will, who wants to better themselves, who wants to go places, you know, someone who isn't going to take advantage of you like that. Because I'm telling you, a person like that is going to just drive you nuts. Like if you're going to work every day and that person's just sitting around doing nothing, feeling sorry for themselves or whatever it is, like struggling with depression, when it's like, look, I struggle with depression too, but I'm still going out to work every day. Or still, whatever, working online every day, whatever it is. It's not going to work out, okay, to put it lightly. And that's exactly what I'm getting for this. This was not to be. And it says, I will never admit how much you hurt me. Look, this person hurts themselves by just picking the lesser choice every time. I mean, like the default choice, the easier choice. There's a woman, I've been watching her videos on TikTok. Oh gosh, this is really sad. I don't know her username, but occasionally her videos come across, and she grew up with a mom who had developmental delays, or basically had sort of the mind of a 12-year-old, but she was a fully grown adult woman. She goes, it wasn't obvious though, like you'd have to be around her for a little bit to get it, to see that she was different, okay? And I'll be honest, I can see that in my own mom. I think a lot of us can, like, I definitely see that. I'm like, okay, that's the issue. Developmental delays. But anyway, she came across as someone who didn't have developmental delays, just a perfectly healthy, not challenged in any way adult until you were around her. She said stuff like one time a dog urinated on her mom's leg and she didn't even do anything about it, like that kind of thing. And she said that her mom got taken advantage of by all these different men. Like she had several stepfathers, I think, and they were just terrible. Those kind of men pick women they can take advantage of. She looked like an adult. She was an adult, but she just didn't function like an adult. This person is in that kind of relationship now, or making those kind of choices. It's like they want to be with someone who's not going to hold them accountable. I started out this reading by saying, will you still want them after what they did? They still think about you. This person still thinks about you, but because they're not happy, like I said, they're in this relationship with someone who doesn't hold them accountable, who isn't really, look, afraid to contact you. Exactly. Afraid because they know that you're going to hold them accountable, that you are not going to put up with this stuff. You got to realize, you see these relationships on social media. I've known so many people who post and brag about their marriages and how great they are. You dig deep, you get around these people, they're not as happy as you think. And there's a study that came out 7 or 8 years ago, there's probably more than one study, that says people who do that, who brag on social media about their relationships, are usually in the worst relationships. You had to have known these people. I very closely knew a couple who, like the wife, like they would post stuff about each other, but it was obvious being around him that he was only with her because he was scared of her, scared of what she would do to herself, and they had kids together. And it would come out once in a while, like, you know, once the kids are gone, he might go. And I've seen that happen a lot too, but I'm just saying that's the kind of relationship this person picked. They picked something where they're afraid to leave, but they're trying to make it seem like they're happy. And if they could, like in their heart, they would rather be with somebody like you. But they have too many things to deal with. Look, you deserve better than this. And you're going to have better than this. Not noble. Okay, that's what I mean. You're going to have better than this. I want you to believe it. I believe it for you. They didn't have the best intentions. See, they know that. Certain people, they get around you, and if they see that you're An honest person, a decent person who doesn't take advantage of people, a lot of times they'll leave because they are that kind of person. You just got to trust them when they say that kind of stuff. Like the guy I talked about who, like to me, the problem was laziness and that he had been babied, okay? But then I don't think he's the kind that would like go out and overtly take advantage of people, although that is taking advantage to a large extent. There are other people who know that they're up to no good, and they have to get with people who are up to no good. This person is that kind of person. They may have seen that you just weren't willing to steal or shoplift even. You know, people will test you with that kind of stuff. In fact, that's for this reading. Somebody might have tested you with shoplifting. Like, would you steal this? Would you do that? Oh, I can't stand that. Anyway, you will know the right time that came out. Because if they test you with something like that, because I've had people do that to me, even just friends, I get away from those people fast because I'm not that kind of person. You will know the right time. That is for your new beginning. Operate in love and you will prosper. Look, you deserve better than you're asking for. You deserved better than this situation, okay? Because this person held back a lot. They are not honest. I'm just not getting a great vibe. The Not Noble card came out, okay? Operate in love. Look, attract the person that you want by putting out that frequency. By thinking those thoughts. Instead of thinking, this person hurt me, it was all so good until they left or whatever. It would have been okay if they had just done this, this, and this. No, that's where you got to stop and be like, they couldn't do that, that, or that, you know? Just like you couldn't do this for them. Like this person had to have somebody who would put up with them, in other words, okay? You wouldn't put up with it. Put out the frequency. By that, I mean just think about it. Like stop thinking about this person. Take the good things about them and manifest it with someone else because at least they showed you the good things. Like that's what I'm getting is this is someone you had a deep connection with. It's just there were certain parts that weren't right, okay? And you don't deserve to settle. You will know the right time for the new beginning with someone else. You set healthy boundaries. This person didn't like that, okay? This person wanted somebody they could just smash their boundaries and do whatever they wanted. Look, I know this might have been a painful situation. That's what I'm getting for some of you, but the right thing happened when it was supposed to. Keep your eyes, ears, vibes open to new opportunities. Don't be afraid. Don't let this get in your way of manifesting the thing that you actually want and deserve. You set healthy boundaries. It is spoken, it is written, and so it is. Amen.